Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on our panel on AI. For me, I'm more excited about this panel than any other panel I think that I'm hosting for, and part of that, a big part of that is because of the panelists we have here. We are going to talk about trading and AI. It's so fast, so much is happening right now, and we have some people who are going to talk about how they're using it. I'll introduce our panelists. First, we'll start with Hala. Welcome. Hala is the regional head of business development for Xlence, a trailblazer in Forex trading, technical expertise. We've had some long discussions about AI, and I'm very excited to hear what you have to say. Heloise is next. We're very lucky to have her here. A Rhodes Scholar, which, if you don't know what that is, there are only about 100 of them every year in the world. The top minds, young minds in the world are accepted into that program, and not only that, but she has a PhD in machine learning. So certainly on topic, and not only that, she's a trader as well. So just
investor.
Couldn't be a better person to have on this panel. Next is Guy Galboiz. Did I get that right? And we're so lucky to have him here as the founder of NRDX, which is a broker that's launching here this weekend. They're at booth, weekend, it's not weekend, this week, at booth 124. It's a unique platform with the ability to offer real-time insights into traded assets, which I think is going to be a killer app of AI technology as it's developed. CFDs, but not just CFDs, real stocks as well. So welcome. Thank you, everyone. And let's get right into the discussion. And maybe I'll start at the end with you, Guy. Where do you see AI trading? Is there still going to be a role for people, or will AIs take over markets?
Look, as I see it, obviously AI will be everywhere. So probably we are not going to go into the cliches of there will be no lawyers because ChatGPT does it better, or there will be no need for a second opinion doctor because you can get at it with this learning model or whatever. I think people will stay, people will trade. They will just be more educated because AI will educate them and give them the tools that they so much need. And you see that from some trading activities. When you are on the other side and you read the book and you see the book of the trading, you understand people doing idiotic stuff. So basically, when AI kicks in, and we as brokers will introduce it and find more ways to apply AI to help the traders, I believe that who will do it better will be the bigger broker and the more successful one and the more profitable one for the broker and for the clients.
Well, Hala, when we talked about it, as a trader, if everybody's using AI and everybody's sort of leveling up with AI, what's the opportunity, at least right now, or how should traders be thinking about getting involved with AI?
Actually, I think that AI is really beneficial, and it will be very efficient in identifying trends, trying to analyze huge data sets. Okay, but at the same time, it has if everyone, as you said, everyone is leveling up using AI, I think it will affect the market. It has a huge impact on the market because using AI in trading will make the market more volatile. Okay, so the volatility of the market will affect higher prices, higher demand for stuff, for certain commodities or certain pairs. We talked earlier about that. Even that AI is, I am pro AI, but it needs to be controlled. In my opinion, I think that AI is going to take over much of the trading area or field, but I think it needs to be controlled, because AI is going to, we are going to use AI for analyzing the market. It can be biased because AI is using data sets. If these data sets are biased, it will be biased and it will give therefore it will give biased information or biased results, okay? It will help with the real-time monitoring, real-time data analysis, but at the same time, it has its cons. So we need to be, it needs to be more controlled because even though that AI is going to help us a lot in the trading field, but it will also affect how the trading phase is going to be in the future.
Well, yeah, you're obviously right that it is going to be. Go ahead.
We are saying so many times the word AI, the letters AI, and I think we are referring it to AI as a tool. It's not the tool. It's not the tool for trading. It's the tool to create tools. It's the tool to create knowledge. So when algorithms overtook by tenfolds the volume in the stock exchange, it didn't. The banks didn't fire all the investors, all the portfolio managers. They are still there. They are sometimes using some algorithms, but they are using like they have the knowledge. Okay, so when we are saying AI, I think, especially in a panel like that with us here basically explaining it, we need to try to understand what we are actually dealing with. AI for what? So when I created NRDX, when I founded NRDX, basically what I did is, I'm a trader. I'm trading every day. And I needed tools. So I created tools to help me. Now it's very easy to create those tools, easier to create those tools because AI exists, help me create the tools for the people to use. So AI helps me to create them. Is not governing my trade. So if I want to analyze a company or analyze the data.
Heloise, we can't leave you out here. I think the message I keep telling people is that it's still very, very early. It feels it's 2 years now, but the pace of change has just been remarkable. But new tools are coming out all the time. ChatGPT now has this projects function where you can pour in document after document and query it onto that. You're adding more analyst reports, you're adding more data to it, and it's just getting more organized and more easy to use, and you just see new applications. And they talk about this year as being the year of agents. Heloise, I wanted to ask you, how are you using AI? Let's try to, for people here who haven't used it, what are things they want to start thinking about using now?
Yeah, I think as Guy and Hala have both said, is the importance of sort of getting the knowledge to know what you're using. And even though AI is very new, it's also very old. It's been around since the 1950s. The thing which has changed is the cost of storing and collecting data. That's really been the tipping point. And when I was developing, or when I patented my first AI algorithm 10 years ago, it took about a year to sort of get it to deployment level. Now you can't imagine that. When deep learning came around 6 years ago, it took 6 months. Now these things are being pumped out within months to get a new trained model. A lot of us are using pre-trained models, of which ChatGPT is one. And what we have to understand is generative AI is a very small part in a very large toolbox. It's the one that allows us to look at human understandable data. So that's multimodal, that'll be text, numbers, images, and that makes it really accessible to people who don't have any technical skills necessarily, which makes it great because it expands the use cases which academics couldn't have come up with by themselves purely because they don't understand it. And so I would say that make sure that you understand like what the shortcomings are. And the way that I'm using it, so my background is in clinical machine learning. I was predicting whether patients were going to be unwell and thought, oh, could I do the same thing for the stock market? They turn out to be quite similar if you look at it from a purely like longitudinal data perspective. And so developed my own algorithms. But there are now very many foundational models available which people can access and build tools on top of those, but never losing sight of the fact that investing or trading is still a complex field on its own. So making sure that you understand what you're doing and using it, as Guy also said, as a tool, or what we call it, the decision support system. It's supposed to support the human to make a decision, and that's the really key part.
Yeah, with the models we have, I mean, anyone could jump in on this. How can it support your decision? I guess the risk with a ChatGPT or some of the other ones that we use is that they just support your decision. You know, they support your decision, but they'll just tell you it's a good decision. Whereas, do you need to challenge whatever AI you're using to say, hey, listen, should I be asking why is this a good decision or why is this a bad decision? And you know, as a trader, where am I going to get a better outcome? If it tells me, hey, listen, you're wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me what can go wrong if I'm buying this asset. I think there would be some value in that. Yeah, go ahead.
I think like you can use AI models. I just want to add to what my friends has said, that okay, it's a model. It's a tool that helps traders, but you need to know how to use it. Okay, so as you said that you're saying that how can I make sure that it gives me the reason why this is wrong, this is right? You know, instead of building your own, strategy from scratch, okay, AI can actually give you, like, there are so many models that can give strategies for beginners, okay, and it can help with the risk management, which is like the most important thing for any trader to you need your strategy and your risk management. That's the whole thing. And I think, but I think that your strategy you can draw the line or collaborate between AI and human by using AI for execution and analysis, and keeping human for the making decision process and the long strategies on the long term, I mean. So I think if we use AI in that matter, if we can put our inputs in that way, we can actually benefit from it's telling us why this is wrong, why this is right, because it can actually be your coach, like your personalized coach.
Well, that's such an interesting topic, and there are all these different ways we can use it. Guy, why don't you tell us your secrets? I know you're thinking a lot about AI and integrating it into a broker, and I think there's a huge opportunity for brokers to separate themselves with these tools. Now, I haven't seen so much execution on it yet, but what are some of the areas you think? I mean, we talked about coaching, or we talked about risk management. You know, where are some granular levels on what this might look like with integrating AI into either a broker or outside a broker, and how traders might think about using it?
Okay, so basically, the CTO of NRDX is sitting here in the crowd. He actually got a mission not long time ago. Take your 40 programmers, and you come back to us and tell us what we are going to do with AI. Because if there is one person here, well, except you, because you look very smart, crazy, that can think of all the usage of AI or all the tools that are possible, the word all, what it will do in next year, nobody here can say. The abilities are crazy. We are on a verge of complete disruption, complete. So we are all wrapping our heads around it. The only thing we have now, which is easy, everybody thinks about information, everything about analyzing information, giving it to you, feeding you information in an easier way. But that's only, like you said, it's like one small piece of whatever AI can do, right? But on the other hand, you cannot say to AI, hi, this is my portfolio, please manage it. Okay, so yes, in NRDX, we are constantly thinking about how to utilize AI more. Because obviously, who will be able, and your capabilities as machine learning, as a technological person, for example, are priceless in the next era. Because at the end of the day, it will be us, the people, that will use it. So your question is, how on a granular level we are using it? Yeah, now we are wrapping information, and we do it better than a lot of others, right? And we show it better than a lot of others. And we are constantly trying to think, let's say, risk management, right? That's another thing. Gather the information, analyze it, give you an answer. So don't overbuy, don't oversell, don't overexpose, don't whatever, right? Don't sell a stock one day before the X date, right? Don't sell it. Like, leave it for tomorrow.
It would be fun to program sort of the tone of it, just to say, stop doing that. You know, you sometimes traders need to be hit over the head and say, stop chasing.
I wish compliance will let me do all my crazy dreams, but they are not allowing me to do that. But yeah, if it will be...
We may need new regulations around it.
No, if it will be the user's choice, and I will give him a prompt inside, and he will basically choose what he wants from AI, from generative AI, because that's the only thing comes to our minds right now, right? I will give him the ability to do whatever he wants.
Well, we don't necessarily know what tools are coming, but Heloise, you've been in this space longer than anyone. You know, what should our attitude be about AI and working with AI? You know, if you're a trader out there, you know, there's a lot of fear. I think a lot of people, you know, I did one thing, I put all my trades into ChatGPT, and then you get a very humbling, it tells you all the things you did wrong. But it was interesting, right? They can find patterns in your own behavior. But I keep saying it's early, and you know, where would you take it, or how would you look at it as a trader for anyone out there?
Yeah, I think like any intelligent investor would know that data is really useful when you're making that decision. And sometimes, like you said, the decision is not to do something. And that's also a decision. And AI can help you make that decision with more certainty. Some of those tools have become so widespread that we're not necessarily even used to it. In 2016, when we were building the natural language processing models to do sentiment analysis, nobody else was doing it. Now, if you're on a good platform, there'll probably be some sort of sentiment analysis which is beyond just like Analyst votes, which will have some sort of social media news scraping kind of thing. So already we are using parts of it in our decision-making process with quite good ease, sometimes even without realizing it. And I think through a common thread throughout all the speakers here is that question about risk management, because I think that's the part where we can really hone in, and that's the part that like I have done on my eToro portfolio. So for somebody like me to have thousands of people copying me on eToro with, you know, $50 million, I was able to do that by harnessing AI tools without a large team, being able to manage a portfolio of that size. And when you think about risk management, we only think about it in one dimension, but there's actually, like in AI, two dimensions. The one part is the accuracy. So how many times do you get it right? How accurate are you? But then there's the question of how many times. So if you think of like a big dartboard, you want to be on the dartboard, but you also want to be in the bullseye. So one question is, how many times am I on the dartboard? How many times does my position get profitable? And then how many times do I actually like get a really good profit, whatever your goal was? And those are the two ways which we need to distinguish risk management, because you can just lower the risk by getting all of your trades profitable. but are they really actually exceptional profits?
Well, it would be interesting with with eToro. That may be something they integrate in the future, is giving you these sort of larger profiles of the copy traders that tell you, these are risk parameters, or this is.
Yeah, they're already doing that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think just even in far more statistical level, but and there's so much upside in this. But there's also so many risks around it. And I think if I'm a trader, an unethical trader, you can pump and dump, I think, better than ever before. And if you're, especially in a thinner stock or something that's less thinly traded, why not create 100 ChatGPTs that will pump your trade? So how are you thinking about avoiding some of these? It's risk management, but it's also the scammers are the early adopters of everything. And how can people even think about protecting themselves?
Actually, I think people are already as you said, scammers are all over the place. They are abusing the systems. They are using bots for trading, and they are making good money out of it. So it's becoming harder and harder to detect these abusers and these scammers. So we should make a kind of regulations to control this, and it should be more it can. As I said, I am pro AI. I think AI will.
Do you think that's going to happen though? The regulations, if we should.
Actually,
yes,
I don't think it's going to happen in the very soon, but I think it should be necessary because it should be done. Because as I said, that AI can really be beneficial. It can be your trading coach. It can highlight your what needs to be improved, where you went wrong with your history, with your trading history. But at the same time, it can be controlled because, as I said, it can be biased because it takes its data from how much you feed it and where it's getting or being fed, So it will be a huge tool also for scammers.
Yeah, no, truly. Did you see applications or things you're worried about along those lines? I mean, you talked about the biases in the models, and is there anything that people can do as they're using these tools to sort of avoid that? You have to, I use it for economic data sometimes, and it'll spit out this beautiful, bullet points on granular parts of the release, and 9 out of 10 will be right, and the other one will be catastrophically wrong, and then you just ask it to repeat itself, and then it'll give you the right answer. So, but it's off-putting, knowing that in anything that it's doing, that it can be so confidently wrong.
You talked about fear before, right? About the fear.
Yeah.
You know what's my biggest fear? Not to be on that train. That's my biggest fear. Well, and everybody should do the same. Everybody should use it. And you're talking about pump and dump, right? What's Elon Musk doing?
Oh yeah, no.
What's Wall Street Bets doing?
But are we all Elon Musk?
No, but he's pumping and dumping, basically. He's not dumping and he's not really pumping. But you understand my thing. If you are this influencer or that influencer and you tweet something on Twitter, on X, right? Isn't that pumping?
That is a very fine line. It always has been, and it works.
So it works like this for decades. We will survive AI in that sense. Not being on the train. That's the biggest risk.
Well, I have a hope. We had the big trend in markets for the last 15 years has probably been people converging around certain stocks into meme stocks has sort of been the ultimate manifestation of it. But you have more people trading than ever, yet trading fewer stocks on higher volume. That the democratization of information around stocks will allow people to research deeper into corners of the market. Now, they may still feel that social pull, but it could break away as well, especially as more and more bots just pollute everything within markets. So that may be a killer app, is just using it to dig into something by yourself, because it can be very lonely to dig into an unresearched company with very little written about it. And you can kind of get, and you can ask questions, you can find out about absurd metrics within any industry that you didn't even really know existed, and then query it about the macroeconomic impacts of that. which is something I wanted to touch on. And in terms of the fears, and something that's not talked on a lot, are the macroeconomic impacts. Do you have any thoughts on that, any of you? Because it will be a real game changer.
I think one of the leading ones we're currently hearing about is productivity, the increase in productivity and this fear around loss of jobs and how that's going to impact certain skills. Depending on what report you read, those numbers vary from tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands, and the increase in productivity will be millions, if not billions, for globally. But that really comes down to, I think, what we're already seeing is, one was that who's going to be the early adopter, and I really think, to sort of latch onto Guy's point about it being a trend, the institution or the region who's able to harness AI will be the next superpower. It feels very similar to that race for splitting the atom. And we're already seeing pockets of that emerging. Spain's economy doing really well. If you dig into it, they had visas, they're setting up data centers, they're attracting talent around this. Obviously, we don't even have to talk about this region because they're also doing exceptional. So it's really sort of a race to, and I'm saying institution because it could also be a company, right? The big Magnificent Seven has, really large.
You can cut a lot of spending. You can cut government spending. I mean, you can do the end.
This is a revolution. It's a revolution.
It is. It really is.
It is a revolution.
Fraud detection at brokers, onboarding, everything, right?
Detroit was nothing before Henry Ford, right? And then it was in his peak. And then Chinese electric cars. And then, you understand what I mean? This is a complete revolution. It's another revolution. The world probably will produce more, will be more effective. It's a complete revolution. And trading is one side of it. The 50 stocks you're talking about, just imagine, there will be 50 others probably, right? Where is, BlackBerry, right? So the new stocks, the new 50 stocks will come.
Yeah, like I said, it's early, and I think people need to get in it. I mean, it's $20 for ChatGPT Plus. I don't think there's a better investment that you can make in the world than getting access to it. But it's not just ChatGPT. I mean, I'm using Claude from Anthropic, new models all the time, these tiny models that are everywhere, the voice models.
Someone used Sora? It's
Yeah.
open now. It's amazing.
The video,
Crazy.
the images, it's...
I think just to add to that, I mean, we're all talking about the AI models, but the really sort of core part of it is the data, which is the new sort of oil, because that's what all of these models are training on. So both as individuals and as companies and as countries, we have a role to realize the data that we have. Some of them are legacy data. A lot of them is not currently digitized. And can you, as a company or an institution, start to participate in bringing that data into the digital sphere? Because that'll give us a lot more of a longitudinal sort of view, and really valuing our data as individuals without adding to the fear-mongering. But we are all sort of contributing to these large Magnificent Seven, having those big market caps, because we are agreeing to be users, giving them the data, which they then monetize. And I don't think regulation is going to catch up in time. So educating yourself on what is the data that you're also putting into the sphere that these tools are harnessing.
Yeah, I mean, the individual tailored thought. Do we have any questions? So we'd be happy to take a question. If anybody puts a hand up. What you're thinking about that, Hala, where do you think it's headed? I mean, where is this ultimately headed in some sort of world-changing way? You know, we had this translation on your phone last year, and I think next year when we're back here, you'll have glasses that you can translate in real time. I mean, just the pace of it is, it's staggering to me.
Well, I think it's it's gonna be the future. You know, it's already here, not in the far future. But the thing is, using AI can really help traders with the collaboration of the human ethics. because there are so many concerns. So if you can use like AI as your trading coach, you can use your AI as your your own personalized AI model, okay, in trading, and I think it will be like it will be the future of trading actually.
Yeah, there's going to be some huge changes. I mean, there's a consensus here that it's coming, it's valuable.
As
Do not get left
it's
behind.
a revolution. Actually.
It really is, and it's just hard to even envision how many things it will touch. And any final thoughts?
Creating materials, chemistry is going to change. You can run a model, create a molecule. When you fix one stable molecule, show it to a person, show it to an engineer. Moderna making a new drug, new vaccine for whatever virus. You know, you sleep in the night, while the AI is trying all possible ways of carrying this protein, and you create a protein which took you 1 year in COVID, which is crazy good. It will take you 1 day. Create a new protein.
Yeah, I mean, that's the value that we haven't talked about yet. One is using AI tools to invest, and then there's this whole other area about investing in AI. So which are the sectors and which are the companies that are early adopters of this? Because not everybody's adopting at the same rate. Some of them might be just like backward in like implementing existing foundational
right?
models.
Fear at the
and
organization.
others are building from scratch. They're building departments. They're building expertise to be in 5 years leading this. So as a trader or an investor, looking for companies that are adding value as well.
If we could fix the traffic in Dubai, that would be just lovely. If we could fix the traffic everywhere. But maybe the robotaxi does that. I mean, it seems robotics are a big part of this as well. A whole separate topic there. But yeah, thank you for this wonderful panel. Everyone joining us. Very excited about AI. We'll be back here, I'm sure, next year talking about AI again, and maybe in ways that we can't even imagine right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adam.